Assalamu alaikum. We're carrying on with area of 2D shapes. Okay, so I'm on page 118 of your textbook, and I want to show you some examples there so that you can work out the rest of the questions today, right? So if you see the first one there, this one is easy. They've given you the height and they've given you the base, and they're telling us to calculate the area of this triangle, which means the inside portion of this triangle, the blue shaded part, right? So if you look at your answer for number 1, we're going to say the area of that triangle is half times base times height, half times the base, which is 9, okay, there's the base, and times 4, which is the height. So you're going to multiply 4.5 times 4, and you're going to get 18 centimeters squared. Remember to write your answer as 18 centimeters squared. Okay, then number 2 is what I wanted to show you today. The height of a triangle ABC is equals to 8 centimeters, and the area is equals to 56 centimeters. Calculate the length of the base, right? So what they've done is, I'm just going to draw a slight picture here. Okay, let me draw it here at the bottom. You've got a triangle that they've given you. Your triangle is triangle ABC. Okay, and in triangle ABC, they've given you your height. Your height is 8 centimeters. And they've given you the area, which means the inside part is 56 centimeters squared. So what we do is we still write down our formula as triangle ABC's area is equals to half times the base times the height, right? So now can you see we've put in the answer 56 is equals to half times the base. We don't have the base, so we're keeping a B, multiplied by 8. So we got 8 and we got the 56 now, right? Then we're saying half times 8 times B. So we can say half times 8 is how much? 4 times B, okay? So if 56 is equals to 4 times B, then we're going to say B is equals to 56 divided by 4, which is equals to 14, right? So we're just solving this part of the equation here. If you got B is equals to 56 divided by 4, right, you're going to say what they've done here, right? We've got 56 is equals to 4B, right? So you can see here, you can write 4 times B as 4B. They're dividing both sides by 4. So you're dividing both sides by 4. So this 4 cancels out. 4 divided by 4 becomes 1. And we end up with a B, and 56 divided by 4, you're going to get 14 centimeters. So when you're calculating it now for the first time like this, just use this example here, and if they give you the area and you need to calculate one of the other two, then you're substituting and then you're trying to solve it like this, right? So number 3 is saying 50 times the, okay, number 3 is here, if the area of a rectangle is 200 centimeters and its length is 50 centimeters, what is the width? Okay, so let me just write that down for you in the diagram here. Again, what they've done is they're giving you a rectangle, okay, and then they're telling you the area is 200 and the length is 50, okay, and we don't have the breadth. So normally when we're doing the area of a rectangle, we say length times breadth, right? So now we have the area 200 and we got the length, which is 50, and we don't have the breadth, so we say times B. So again, how we did that one there by the triangle, we're going to say this is 50B, which is a silent multiplication there, is equals to 200. And how do you solve it? You divide this by 50, so this divided by 50 becomes a 1. So 1B, we write it as B. We're going to divide that by 50. Okay, so 50 goes into 200 how many times? And we're going to say 50 goes into 200 4 times. So we've solved for B. B is equals to 4. So for today, just look at the video and look at the examples and do it, and you'll get used to it, inshallah, right? So let's look at the next one. Find the perimeter of a square if the area is 256 centimeters squared. Right, so now they're telling you you have a square, right? And you've got the area, which is 256 centimeters. So now we need to know, remember, area's formula is length times length, right? So something multiplied by something is going to give us 256, right? So what we need to do is we need to find the square root of 256. And if you see here, the square root of 256 is going to be 16, right? So if we have 16 multiplied by 16, we're going to get 256. So that's how you're finding the length of your square. Now remember, the question is telling you find the perimeter of the square. So first of all, we have to work backwards from the area and find the length of the square. Now we're going to say perimeter. Remember, perimeter is how much? How do we calculate the perimeter? When you think of perimeter, you imagine yourself walking around the entire shape with the tape measure, and you want to just add up all the sides. It's not multiplying like area. So if we say one side is 16, what we're going to do? 16 plus 16 plus 16 plus 16. So we're going to say 4 multiplied by the length, which, or the side. Remember, we said 4 times s, right? So it's 4s. So we're going to say 4 times 16, and our perimeter is going to become 64 centimeters. Okay, can you see how we've done that? Okay, so I've got 9,3. So what I've done from the information they've told me is I've worked out that this is 9,3 and this is 9,3. And why did I say that? First of all, this line is equals to that line because it's a rectangle, right? Now they told me that DC is equals to 2 of TC. DC is equals to 2 of TC. So it's this one here plus this one here, right? Can you see? It's this 9.3 plus the 9.3 is equals to. Now look at this triangle here. I've got a triangle, I've got my base, and I've got my height. So I'm going to calculate the area of the triangle. The area of the triangle has to be base times height. So I'm going to write down my base is 9.3 and my height is 8. 9.3 times 8 times, oh, I forgot something, half times base times height. Sorry. So half times 9.3 times 8, I'm looking at the answer on the next page. It's giving me 32,7 centimeters squared. Okay, so what I've done in this diagram now, let's draw it here, right? Okay, we've got a diagram like this. I've calculated the area of the rectangle is 148,8 centimeters. Okay, I've got the area of the rectangle. Then I've calculated the area of this triangle here, which is 37,2 centimeters squared, right? Now they want me in the question to work out this part. So if I've got the two areas, what am I going to do? I'm going to say that the shaded part is equals to 148.8, which is the whole rectangle's area, minus that 37.2 is going to give me the shaded part. Can you see? So I'm going to get 111.6 centimeters squared. So what we have done is we've used all the information in the diagram. We calculated first the area of the full rectangle. Then we calculated the area of the small triangle. Then because we can minus this part here, we're ending up with the shaded part. So each diagram is different and each question is different, and what you have to do is you have to remember you know three things. You know the area of a square, you know the area of a rectangle, and you know the area of a triangle. So you look at the pictures and you try to find rectangles and triangles in the pictures, and then you solve it like how we did it now. Okay? Okay, let's look at this example that's going to be in your homework question today. Right? They say calculate the area of these polygons. So this one is a triangle. You can see now that you're going to do what you're going to do here. You've got the base and you got the height. Okay, so this one is not so difficult. You're going to say half times base times height. Now this is a polygon. Can you see here? Right? But now you need to break it up into two shapes to work out the area. So what can you see? If I draw a line here, right, down here, straight here, right across this, what shape have I made there? I'm going to make a square. So what is this going to be equals to? That's going to equals to 4, because sorry, I'm making a square here, so this is equals to 4. Can you see there? Okay, so then this part here also from here to here is also going to be equals to 4, right? And I can also see that because this full line is 7 and this part of it is 4, this has to be 3, because 4 plus 3 is going to give me that full length of 7. Okay, can you see how I've broken it up? Now I can find the area of a square, and I can find the area of a rectangle, a triangle, and then I can add them up together to get the area of this one here. Okay, we're on page 120. I just want to go through the diagram so you don't get confused. So look at this shape here. What do we have? We've got a polygon inside there, and we've got a big rectangle. Okay, so it's telling us calculate the area of the shaded region in the diagram. Okay, so if ABCD is a rectangle, so we need to know, the area of this pink part here. Now we need to know what areas we can find. Can you see I can find the area of this big shape here? How am I going to do it? There's my, if I add those two together, I'm getting my length. If I add those two together, I'm getting my breadth. Then I found the area of the entire rectangle. But now I have to remove this triangle, I have to remove this triangle, I have to remove this triangle, and I have to remove this triangle. So if I find the area of that triangle there, and then the area of this triangle here, and the area of this triangle here, and the area of this triangle here, and I minus it from that full rectangle area, you see this part here, if I minus it, I'm going to end up with that part there. Okay, so just to go through it again, you're finding the area of the big rectangle. Then you're finding the area of this triangle, then this triangle, this triangle, this triangle. You're adding those areas all up together, and then you're going to minus it from the big rectangle. Okay, please try, and then we'll go through it again. These ones were simple and straightforward. Okay, so if you look at number 15, those of you who were finding this a bit difficult yesterday, okay, so let's see how we're going to break this up. Can you see I can break this up here? If I draw a line for myself across there, I've made this into a rectangle. So how much is this going to become? This is going to become 300. Okay, and I've broken this up into a triangle, right? So now I need to try to find out how to calculate the areas of this rectangle and of this triangle. But look now, if I've made this into a rectangle, can you see this opposite side? It's going to become 600 till here. From here to here is equals to that opposite side there, because I've cut it into a rectangle. So how much is this part, leftover part, going to be here? They're telling me the full line is 800 and this part is 600. So this has to become 200. So can you see? Now I can work out the area of my rectangle by saying length times breadth. And I can work out the area of my triangle, half times my base times my height, and then I add the two areas up together. Same here. What has happened here is we've got, sorry, it's already drawn there. Let me just erase it. Okay, we've got two pieces of rectangles put together. So if I cut this here, can you see here? If I draw a line here, I've made this into a rectangle and I've made this into a rectangle. Okay, so what it's telling me, now I need to find the area of the shape. So how am I going to find it? So if you can see now that I've got this is opposite that, so this is going to become 100. Okay, so if I'm adding this part, which is 200.5 plus this 100, can you see I've got the length of this triangle, of this rectangle here first. I've got the length, these two figures make up my length, and I'm going to multiply it by my breadth, and then I'm getting the area of this part here, right? Now I need to find out the area of the second rectangle. Okay, so if we look at this part here, if we've made this into a rectangle, can you see that this part here is going to be equals to 100 also. This line here is going to be equals to that till there, because I've cut it into a rectangle. It's also going to become 100 meters, right? Now they told me the full line is 350. Now that part is 100, So we're going to minus and we're going to get 250 for this part of the rectangle there. Can you see there? 250 plus the 100 makes 350. Now I've got two rectangles. So here's my second rectangle. Okay, I found the area of that one there. Now I'm finding the area of this rectangle. I've got my length 250 multiplied by 100. I'm going to find the area of this and add it to the area of that. So every shape, can you see, you have to break it up and then solve the problem. Okay.